Set to the side, you'd better run and hide. More to the side, everybody wants to stay alive. Set to the side, you'd better run and hide. More to the side, everybody wants to stay alive. You never stop! What is your major malfunction?
Welcome to the Chabdog Sports Talk Radio Show. Sunday mornings live from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific. Where spontaneous sports talk, rated R.
Don't make a fuck out of me.
Host Brandon Chabner and producer Eric the Wellread bring you Brian from Sports Rock.
Say hello to my little friend.
And Tank's West Coast godbrother, Abe Miranda.
See the mess of the true passion of New York.
Plus special guests, music, movie clips, comedy,
So fat, the blood type is racoon.
and always a little politics.
It comes from China.
The live call-in number is 252-585-4120. Join in the fun.
Hello.
And now, here's your host, Chabdog.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Chabdog Sports Talk. We're brought to you by Chabner Law, serving Southern California's transactional legal needs, and by Chabdog Sports Blog for your head of your sports headlines and biting sports commentary. This is the really big bang show, and we're going to have... and we had a really big bang yesterday. Did you hear about that? Around Redondo Beach, there was an earthquake.
Hey, Chabdog.
And by the way, this is my co-host, Eric Sope. Every week he joins me on Chabdog Sports Talk. You hear about that? It was kind of an afterthought earthquake, but it was an earthquake. It was like 3.6 on the Richter scale, about 5 miles away from Redondo Beach.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a little shocking when it gets that close to home. That is hitting close to home, isn't it? For me.
What time of the did that occur?
I was driving somewhere, so it was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
We were at Exhibition Park when that happened.
Did you feel the earth move at all?
No, didn't think so. Did you? No.
Yeah.
No. Oh well.
Some people pointed it out to me, and that's
Okay.
just
Well, we live in
shows
shaky
that we've
town.
been living in this state too long because I don't even notice them anymore.
Exactly. I don't notice them anymore either. It's just like, yeah, whatever. The ground shakes, and then next moment happens. It's on something else.
Well, that's what we have.
We live on the shifting sands. That's how.
We have some things we have to deal with out here, including flooding and fires. Those fires are annoying. It happens every year.
Well, we've got a really great show.
We have a really big show. A really big show.
Today. We got a little.
Yes.
Okay, we've got the negotiation between Green Bay Packers
Oh, yeah.
and Aaron Rodgers coming up. And Aaron Rodgers is played by Louise Lasseter in this interpretation of it. Got a little shot of the Cain Mutiny.
Wait, Aaron Rodgers is Louise? I thought Aaron Rodgers was Woody.
Yeah, it's funny though. It's well, who wants to break up from whom here? It's Rodgers that wants to. So it must be Louise Lasseter playing that.
Oh.
We might drop in a little David Lee Roth, and
Yeah.
then we're going to play where Tank's inspiration came
Yes,
from.
this is the real
Vikings.
song.
The real song where that came from. Then we got a little Sharon Tate, just because we got to play a little Sharon Tate. And then the Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. The trailer for it, the 2 minutes and 30 seconds, is going to blow your mind.
Yeah.
If you aren't already on acid.
It's way beyond the Valley of the Dolls.
Of course, we're going to play a little Ed Sullivan here.
Yeah.
It is the really big show here. And there's for those who've never heard of Paul Lynn before, Paul Lynn, this guy is... Well, I got a lot to say when we get there, but he was a tremendous comedian. Mm-hmm. Didn't get nearly enough runway in what could have been a great career.
Well, a lot of people remember him. The people that watched Hollywood Squares all remember him.
Yeah, of course.
He was the show. He was the middle square.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he made that show tick. And speaking of shows, another one that you may
King
never
of the
heard of was
one-liners.
Love American Style, which Happy Days spun out of. So we're going to play the love theme there. If we can squeeze in the Love Boat.
Well, there's a lot of love in this show because this is Mother's Day, and we want to make it clear that we love our mothers and
We love our mothers.
where we be without them and their love to us.
Even though we have a clip from the Defiant Ones. And
yeah, there's going to be a little bit of an edge as usual. There's this undercurrent of anxiety.
Oh God, they're always
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And this is as You know, Chabdog, there's another name for a mother, another name for Mother's Day now that we're in the politically correct war.
Oh, what is it?
Did you hear about this?
No.
Today is Happy Birthing Person's Day.
Who made that up?
This is Happy Birthing Person's Day because we are woke here today, and you can't say mother because mother is excluding other forms of life that apparently can give birth.
So you can't say Mother Earth anymore?
Oh, geez. That must have been outlawed long, long ago. But imagine that. Happy Birthing Person's Day. Yeah. What is the world coming to?
Oh.
That was one of the squad. That was a Congress person that said that, by the way. But anyway, not that matters, I guess.
I never heard of that. But anyway, our warmest wishes go out to all the mothers out there.
And all the birthing persons, too. Hey,
if you want to be, if you're a man and you want to be considered a mother or something, that's fine with me.
Well, what if you're transgender? I mean, what if you're Bruce Jenner and you want to have a baby too, and you should be included?
Yeah. And
I mean, she's the next governor, clearly. I mean, do you think that guy with the bear has a better chance? Although that bear was pretty cool. I'd like to see the bear and Jenner wrestle it out. Go in the ring and wrestle it out, and the winner gets to be the governor.
The bear?
Yeah, the bear. Oh, the bear. The other fellow who's running, and he didn't see that news? You didn't see like a big bear standing next to a guy in the news this week?
No.
Oh, man, you live under a rock.
No.
I want to welcome Abe Miranda and ask him the same question. Abe, did you see a guy with a bear this week in the news? Do you remember seeing that?
Well, hi, everybody. Yes,
hey,
I
Abe.
remember a bear. I can't remember what the context was, but I remember there was a guy with a bear.
Oh, but you saw him. Okay.
Or it was a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Or it was a YouTube video that I saw.
Oh, well, that's the California bear.
Well, he wasn't.
That's probably because of California's, the Golden Bear State.
The former mayor of San Diego, whose name escapes me, but who is running to potentially be the next governor.
Yes, he's running for governor, and he's running around with a bear in his campaign.
Yeah.
Is that the bear you're
sounds
talking
like
about? I thought you were talking about something sports related.
It sounds like
but
the tank
you're talking
problem.
about the governor candidate.
Yeah, Abe, we're getting a lot of chop on you here.
You're sure you're not doing the show from Tank's apartment in Belleville?
New Jersey Bell?
Let me try something else. I'll try something else.
Okay. Yeah, so anyway, Chabdog, yes, this week this fellow who's trying to run for governor, against Bruce Jenner and against the sitting governor, was touring with a big full-size bear. So he's sitting there talking this like massive, like a grizzly bear.
I hope the bear's on a chain or something.
No, he's just walking around.
You can't have a bear walking around.
Well,
what happens if he gets hungry or
I know
doesn't like the way somebody looks?
Yeah, like
this is ridiculous.
Like Jenner, yeah.
What happens if he looks at Jenner and gets scared?
Or feels intimidated by
gets alarmed
Jenner.
Or sexually confused. I don't know.
Oh, the bear. Oh, geez, that's...
He's a wild animal. Wild animals do wild things.
That's the joke.
I've heard a lot of stories about that.
Yeah, they can be unpredictable, but for some reason this candidate feels it's
my
important
wife
to
said
have the
that
bear
about
alive
Bingo
there,
recently.
Unchained. Bingo, yeah.
He is a wild animal.
Yeah, he is.
I never know when I walk him up to a dog what his reaction is going to be, because a lot of times he gets very hostile.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if he senses any kind of weakness. If it's a bigger dog, like a puppy, a stupid puppy, and the
Uzi 9mm.
He hates that
because he's as small as
the Uzi 9mm.
He's gone through too much life. He's not going to put up with a lot of It's just you better behave. Your better behavior with him.
Well, here let's.
All right. Well, did we lose Abe? Did we lose Abe, or is he still around?
No, he's still around.
Can you hear me better?
A little bit.
Can you hear me? Kind of.
No, you keep chopping in and out.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, let's try something else. Maybe this will get Abe to come in clear.
I switched.
You switched? Yeah.
I switched over to a different.
Do you know Miranda?
Do you even know the Miranda rights?
First, I have to read you the Miranda rights. You have the right to remain
Abe Miranda.
I've never Miranda'd anyone before.
Don't give me attitude, sir.
Yeah, it seems like it's working now, but that was anyway. No, you're still coming in choppy. How about you hang up and call back? Let's try a new line.
We'll try that.
Excellent.
All right.
The technical difficulties.
There's a rat eating through his telephone line.
Yeah, it's here in L.A. I mean, I understand that happening in New Jersey Tel, but geez, not here in L.A.
Well, you could play a little of the contract negotiations.
Yeah, that was one of the first things out of the chute. Let's try that. So we got we got the transcripts of the conversations this week between Aaron Rodgers and the management of the Green Bay Packers in terms of trying to figure out what the problem is here and make an amicable parting, because it's clearly
somebody
do
doesn't
that.
want somebody else anymore.
So here in this breakup scene, it's going to be the voice of Aaron Rodgers is played by Louise Lasseter, and the Green Bay Packers by Lasser, and Green Bay by Woody Allen. Here, take a listen.
Something, and I don't know how to break it. Oh, feel it.
Why? Is something the matter? Have you seen X-rays of me?
I saw X-rays.
The medical crew.
I
trainers.
failed to see the universe.
Oh, you didn't see the X-rays.
What? Tell me what's the matter.
No, nothing.
Because I'm white. I mean, my heart. You know when your heart beats.
I know.
When my heart is beating.
I know. I just don't think we should.
It's really
see
a
each
Woody
other.
Allen nose and glasses.
Really?
You know the.
Yeah, like Green Bay, they all look like that.
I'm sorry.
Why? What's the matter?
There's just something missing for me, and I don't know what.
What do you mean something?
Roger.
Something missing from me?
Yes.
What do you mean? Like what?
Like,
Don't get the ball enough.
Can you say
I've
what
done
is
everything
missing
for
from me?
you.
Can't throw down the field anymore.
no, maybe if you could guess a few things, I
Made
could
my
try.
whole life.
What do you
built
mean?
my whole
Can you
life
say
around
They'll
it.
give me good
missing. I
protection.
don't know
I mean,
what
is
it is.
Is it
Good protection.
personality or looks or something
Well,
like that? I mean,
no.
am I not smart enough?
No.
I mean, is that what you're saying? Because I'm
No,
not.
it's not
No.
exciting
Well,
enough.
You mean that it
has nothing
isn't-
to do with height or anything
No,
like
it
that,
has
right?
nothing to do with the fact that you're short, and it has nothing to do
Cavities?
with the
Has
fact that
nothing
you're
to do
not
with
bright
cavities?
enough, and it has nothing to do with
With
the
your-
fact that your teeth are in bad
your
Yeah,
bad
you
teeth.
So
got
what then?
an
Why
average
does it-
defense.
I don't understand. Has it got to do with? It's
Weak
not my
linebacker.
personality. It has nothing.
No.
Do you have fun when you're with me?
No.
Yeah, we
But
had
it's
a lot
not
of
that.
fun.
I mean,
We
it's
won
not that I
one
don't
world,
have fun with you.
one world,
So
one
what,
Super
we
Bowl.
laugh, like we spend days.
Went to a lot of playoff
Don't
games.
tell me that we haven't laughed.
Won some
it's
incredible
not that we
games.
laugh,
We
haven't
laugh
laughed.
cheese we got to eat
I
together.
laughed a
Certainly,
lot.
I laugh a lot.
Well, I
mean,
can't
sometimes you
put my
don't laugh.
finger
I
on
notice,
quite what
and
it
I'm
is.
just left laugh.
Something's missing. That's all. Just
Well, what's
the re-
missing? Can you
well,
be
the
specific? I
relationship
mean, is it the
isn't
way I
going
Come on, Aaron.
anywhere.
Well, where do you want it to go? I mean, it's
Well,
got.
where could we get it to go?
Well,
Super Bowl.
That's not. I don't know. I love you. I mean, that's when. Then if I love you and you love me,
Yeah,
that's.
don't get
No,
personal, Green
and
Bay.
it's not because I don't love you.
Then you love
Aaron
me.
just has to
No,
keep
I don't.
moving.
That's what I mean.
He's
You-
not
But that's
happy.
not the reason why. Just something is missing. I need a very
It's
strong
communication,
man.
right?
She-
Well, I
she-
need a
she
leader.
needs a
I'm a
strong
leader.
man.
I'm perfect. I have all the
But
qualities
don't
of
you
leadership.
understand? I'm interested in so many vital political
Something
things.
about-
But
something
then I
about
wanna
Green
go and
Bay
work with
isn't
pygmies
strong
in
enough.
Africa.
Well,
And I want to work with lepers on a leper colony. I don't
I'm
think
willing
that
to.
you.
No, it's perfectly okay. I love leprosy. If that's what you're asking me, I'm perfectly willing to. I like leprosy. I like cholera. I like all the major skin diseases. So
No,
don't.
You're
That's my
immature feeling.
How am I immature?
Well, emotionally, sexually, and intellectually.
Yeah, but what other ways?
Well, then maybe it's my fault. Maybe I just can't give.
What do you mean you can't give? Then why don't you
She's pretty
receive and I'll
hot.
give?
I'm not ready to
See what she
receive.
looks like.
Well, then you give and I'll
Louise
receive.
Lasser.
Well, I can't receive.
Well, you see, I'm a person who can only receive if another is giving.
Well, I can't give. I'm
She's
sorry.
wearing a
But
lot of
if we
clothes.
each
You
receive,
can't
it
really
might work.
tell.
Well, I can't receive. My trouble is
Aaron
I'm
Rodgers,
receiving and
he's
receiving,
got a lot
and I'm
padding on.
only not able to give or to receive.
But I would like to give if only you could receive.
I can't receive. I don't know how I can help you. Really
You
don't.
can't?
See, if we
Yeah,
both
Rodgers is a
receive
wide
or both
I
receiver.
told
give,
you I can't receive and I can't give. It's not going to work out. It's of no use to me. I'm sorry.
He takes.
Goodbye.
He's the quarterback.
I'm sorry if I
He gets
hurt
the ball.
Yeah. She's sorry if she hurt you, Green Bay.
Don't worry about me, sweetheart. I'm like a cat. I'll always wind up on my feet.
Green Bay always wind up on their feet there, Chabdog. Eh? Hey, Abe, don't worry. Your team, Green Bay, is always going to wind up on their feet there. And Aaron Rodgers is going to have a fine time in Denver.
Who are they going to get if he leaves?
Yeah, who do they got? Who's the backup quarterback there, Abe? Any guess?
I know it's David Whitehurst. One of those. You remember all those lunchy Green Bay quarterbacks they had before Brett Favre, like guys that the world forgot. There was a whole list of them.
There's a whole list of them.
There was.
Jeez, I
David,
can't even name him.
David Whitehurst.
Whitehurst.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And we need to look. If we had Tank, he could pull that stuff up right away.
Well, let's test Abe's mic here. Mike, or Abe, give us a mic test here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I could do an internet search. I could try.
Well, now we can't even hear Abe at all. So,
Abe's just gone?
Well, he's called in, but we're not getting any.
Somebody put the.
It's perfectly
somebody
silent now.
spooked us this week, I think.
Yeah, we're haunted by a
it
poltergeist.
couldn't be me because my mother's getting her present. She already got her present.
Oh, that's good.
Did you get a present?
Yes. Well, it was my father's birthday on Friday. He turned 90. He turned 90, and he's not to be confused with Willie Mays.
Yes. Sometimes that there's confusion there.
Yeah, Nancy
Willie
Pelosi.
Mays, Willie McCovey. That's what happened. She got confused because there was two Willies.
Uh-huh.
You know, that was it. Do you want to talk about that?
Well, we're already on the topic, and Abe, if you're there, try hanging up and calling in again because we definitely can't hear you now. Your mic is dead.
Skype has been screwed with this week,
or some device somewhere along the way.
Of
course, he could have been called away. Hey, you might have to be doing something with his mother's too. But oh yeah, that was a real mess this week. Nancy Pelosi. So she wanted to wish Willie Mays a happy 90th birthday, and she put up a picture of her and Willie together. With the saying "Happy Birthday," and the only trouble was that it was a picture of San Francisco Giant Willie McCovey, because
it was the wrong Black Willie.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
That's really moronic.
We have a reenactment.
Was she drinking or something? Do you think
that's
she was
allegedly? That's no. She isn't. She's a teetotaler like President Trump was. We have a reenactment of the scene here by Dean Martin and Sharon Tate.
Oh my God!
Yeah, here's a comical reenactment of the.
Hotel here.
Mr. Helm?
Yes.
Oh! Wow!
Oh.
I like that.
Oh, I'm Freya. Welcome to Denmark, Mr.
Freya.
Helm.
You always greet people like this?
I'm Freya Carlson, your tourist bureau contact. These are for you. Street maps, places of interest. This is for you, too.
Nancy Pelosi's
what
very.
year was that?
1949.
So are you comparing Nancy Pelosi
I'm here
to
to
Sharon
help you in
Tate?
any way I can.
Well, it's very nice of you.
Is there anything you'd like for me to do?
Yes, ma'am. A couple things.
I never confused them.
Would you mind getting off my camera?
The breasts are about the same size.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
I'm sorry.
Well, let's not get into that. But
You never saw Nancy
What
Pelosi's.
about the arrangements?
I
of
know,
the
but
Contini
where's it
Chateau?
going?
Oh, well, that's in the works. I'm
as far as
expecting a
that's
call from the chateau at 11. I'm sorry about... Welcome to Denmark.
Some kind of hotel you got here. Half a bottle is better than none.
All right, so let's try Abe Miranda one more time. Abe, give us a.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, we sure can.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's
yes,
better, yes.
That would be Jordan Love as the quarterback, the backup quarterback, isn't
Jordan
it?
Love.
Jordan Love,
Yeah,
as in Love Boat.
as in Love Boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, as Love Boat, exactly. As in Love
I don't
Boat.
know anything about him. Is he somebody we should be excited about if we're Green Bay Packer fans?
Well, I think if Aaron Rodgers leaves, then I guess that's something we should be excited about. I mean, the only thing that's interesting about Jordan Love is he's from Bakersfield, California.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh.
Bakersfield, local boy. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I wish him well. Where did he do his college ball?
Let's see. That I don't have off the top of my head, but I'll find out for you.
All right. Yeah, let's maybe look up a little bit on him, and we'll play his theme song. Because Green Bay is now riding a Love Boat, going on tour.
It floats back to you.
Yeah, floats back to you, Green
Maybe
Bay.
Aaron to. How about Aaron? Aaron goes to New England.
No, I think Aaron should go to Pittsburgh and sit here behind Ben to really learn the job. A-Ron.
Double A-Ron.
He could reinvent himself.
I guess that's what everybody's going to be speculating about for the next 4 months.
The double A-Ron.
It will be like, remember when Pete Rose changed from the Reds and went to a different team? Do you remember that a long time ago?
Long time ago.
There was a big... was it Dave Parker?
I thought it was Johnny Bench. But
sometimes players, there's a lot of speculation about where they're going to go, and that's interesting.
He's going to Denver, don't worry about it.
Denver?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, that might make a lot of sense. They get rid of Chad. Who's the quarterback there? Drew Lock? I think it's Drew Lock.
Chad Henne.
Not Chad Henne. Or Sonia Henne. It's Drew Lock.
Sonia Henne.
Yeah.
Very
very expendable. Somebody very expendable. Well, thank you for that tidbit of information there. See, Ava's like Hank. He just comes up with the right answer.
Yep. Jordan Love. Yeah.
There have been some good athletes named Love. There was Kevin Love from the Cavaliers. I don't know if he's still playing. He's good. He played for UCLA. I remember that guy. Big, tall, big white guy.
White guy. Okay.
Active scorer. And then we had Bob Love for the Bulls. He was an older NBA player in the 70s. He was a big guy. He was a center. Davis Love III. See, I pulled 3 Loves out of thin air. And then there was Lovey Smith, the coach.
Lovey Smith? Lovey Howell.
Who?
Lovey Howell from Gilligan's Island.
Oh.
Well,
now we're stretching.
I got somebody at least.
Yeah. I think I'm out of loves at this point. This is probably the best Jack Jones, I think, of all time, this song. And he had a good voice, didn't he? It was like a nice, relaxing, loungy type voice, but very...
Yeah, perfect place to sip a martini and play your bamboozle on, try and pick up some gal in the bar.
Lose track of time for a while.
In the airport somewhere. Right.
What's that?
Hit those high notes. All right. Let's hear it for Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay and
that's
Justin
always
Love,
fun.
the new quarterback.
That's always fun to lose yourself.
Hope that works out for them.
2 or 3 hours.
But Abe, there's another thing working out. I know you do follow the Mets a little bit, and there was some kind of funny talk this week about Francisco Lindor and Jeff McNeil, and about rats versus raccoons.
I want to get back to you guys on Jordan Love. He, by the way, he was a quarterback at Utah State.
Oh, great.
He's 6'4". He's 219 pounds.
He's an Aggie.
He was the 26th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft by the Green Bay Packers in the first round.
Mm.
That's a little bit about Jordan Love. Now, as far as what you're talking about, so there was supposedly on Friday night against Arizona Diamondbacks, Francisco Lindor and Jeff McNeil, they had some sort of confrontation in the tunnel near the dugout.
Meet me in the tunnel.
And so people thought there was a pretty legitimate fight going on, but it turns out, well, at least the narrative is that Francisco Lindor had seen a massive rat inside the tunnel, and he had never really seen a legendary New York rat.
Yeah.
And Jeff McNeil was under the impression that it was a raccoon. So there was some debate in the the tunnel.
Wait,
if
how
it
could
was
you
a rat,
confuse a
or
rat
if
and
it
a
was
raccoon?
raccoon that was seen in the tunnel.
They must have
So,
some
but-
pretty big rats in New York City.
It's Queens, man.
You know, the biggest you've ever seen.
Flushing, yeah. That's what they call it, Flushing.
Rats the size of cats.
Puss.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm sure you get the really big ones in the athletic stadiums, because I've just heard that they
Oakland.
I heard that they kind of collect underneath the stadiums, and there's so much food on the ground that is dropped.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's just the perfect place. If you're a rat, there's just nothing better.
My money. If we had a bet, I would take it that it was a rat.
Yeah, but a raccoon's like, you know, huge. They can be huge.
Yeah.
And they
So
got
small
all
raccoon or a big
different
rat.
fur. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just, I don't know. I never heard any. I could see maybe a possum and a rat getting confused.
Yeah, possum's pretty white though.
Yeah, they got the white face.
Yeah, rat could be a person.
they do. They got like a black, white face, black spots, right? Possum.
Was it a white rat and black face?
That's racist.
That we
Careful now. Careful now.
I don't know if it was a racist rat, but I would say it was definitely. It could have been a very large rat. That could have been.
So what happened? Was one player holding the other player or something?
Transgender rat, or if and there might be some
Did
speculation
Lindor
that the
get
rat
scared?
is running governor in California.
Yeah, he's the next candidate to jump in. The rat's going to throw his hat in the ring. Hey, that rhymes.
So the next candidate will be walking around, instead of a bear, he's going to be campaigning with a massive New York rat.
I don't think anybody wants to see that.
That's the joke.
I don't like rats either, for the record.
Oh yeah, who likes rats except for Ben?
I mean, if I got,
and I say Ben, you look at me like I'm talking about your son. No, there was a movie called Ben in 1971, which Michael Jackson sang the theme song. You know that song?
Oh, Ben.
Ba, 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 ba,
Right.
That's from a movie called Ben.
Yeah.
And the character's name was Ben. Or actually, no, the rat's name was Ben. The character's name was Willard. In fact, the movie that came before, was Willard.
So
Sorry,
what was
Ben. Sorry,
what
it's
was
not your son. Your son's named after a rat. but
What
it's not
was
your
the
son's
movie? I don't understand. What was the movie about?
Some guy named Willard who was an outcast and loner, and he
became friends with a rat.
Precisely, and then all the rats came to save him in the end and scared all the people away, so he could be alone, which is all he really wanted.
Was this a cartoon or a real movie?
No, it was like a 2-hour full-length movie. You look like you're totally like, wow.
I didn't know there was.
I didn't know
there was a movie about this. I
there's
knew there
a lot
was
of
a song.
stupid stuff made in Hollywood. I'm saying like a lot of stupid stuff. In fact, before
we play a lot of it on our show.
Before we get into Speed Racer or Chabdog Racing here coming up in 3 minutes, let's see if we can squeeze in. Speaking of stupid stuff made in Hollywood, we have just enough time to play the trailer for Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. This is a 1970 film directed by Russ Meyer. And remember, back then, people did a lot of acid, and you're going to find out why, because, just listen to this.
Yeah. You'll need that to get through this.
Recently, 20th Century Fox had two very heavy ideas.
Listen
First,
to
make
this
a
groovy
film
music.
called
Ooh.
Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. Second, get Russ Meyer to write, produce, and direct it. You'll meet three girls, young, beautiful, talented, a tight trio that was the heart and soul of a rock group. Life was sweet, man, but not enough. The whole world was out there just waiting, and the beat inside pushed them to where it's happening.
Ooh.
Hollywood, USA. Yeah, it happened all right.
This
They got
had
hooked on a
everything.
non-stop merry-go-round where the only ticket you need is success. Be a winner, man, or forget it. When they made that first party, it was like too late. The whole thing was moving, reaching out, and they dug it. Whites, yellows, and reds were more than just colors, man. They were it. The magic dream pills. The chicks were wild and groovy. The studs were cool and
Yeah,
cool.
Superwoman.
The eyes so warm, the smile so friendly. But watch the teeth. They bite deep. Faces, so many faces, calling, begging, help me, love me, save me. Don't listen. If you hear them, you've had it. Come on, open your mouth wider. Here, taste. Life, man, life. Like it? Hell no, tough. It's a one-way trip all the way down.
Yeah. You really
One
have
little
to
girl
watch
turns
the
her back
video.
on truth and love. She'll have
No,
to make
he's
it with
describing
pain
it
and
all
eyes
here.
that cry rivers. The second finds her heart in the arms of another chick.
Swastika.
Don't look for
There's a
evil
Nazi,
in your
yeah.
brother's eye. The third bird finds her man. It's good, very good, but she almost blew it before she'll learn that simple truth. The boys are here, too. One so sure that love was enough. It isn't. You gotta fight for it, or it'll just get up and walk on out. Another cat's hungry. Bread and chicks. Make 'em pay. Love is free, but sex isn't. Don't look back. You won't like the view. And what about you, man? What's your thing? You talk weird. What do all those words mean? Who are you? Don't look at me, man. You're not real. It's all here. Love, rape, murder, dope, grass, abortion, suicide.
That's my
Something
favorite
for
part.
everybody.
Everything in this movie.
Now, hold
It's
it,
all
man.
here.
Don't
Love,
close your
rape, and
mind.
murder, boy.
This is what living is all about. The people who make Beyond the Valley of the Dolls come alive are the largest introduction of fresh young talent ever presented in a major motion picture.
Yeah,
Beyond the
fresh
Valley
young
of the Dolls
talent.
is not a sequel. There's never been anything like it before. If you've been waiting for something new, waiting for a film to shake you into the freaked-out, mind-blowing scene of right now, then come and see it,
Would
man,
have blown me
and
away
find
if I
out
had seen
why
it
it's
when I was
called
4
Beyond the
when it came
Valley of
out.
the Dolls
Oh, I tried
from
to watch
20th
it.
Century
For some-
Fox.
It was just beyond my comprehension.
Yeah.
Rated X.
It's very confusing.
Ooh.
Oh,
All over
is
the
it
place.
really rated X?
That's what it said right at the end there. Yeah, it was an X rated.
Does it seem like an X movie, though?
Well, at the time, I mean, look, it's 1970. They're just leaving
This,
the
this
whole
was just, I think, a
era.
R+. plus.
Well, they just began that classification, so it wasn't triple X; it was single X. Remember, Midnight Cowboy was a single X as well. Triple X was for porn. X was just a different kind of category. They dropped it because it got associated with porn.
Yeah.
And nothing but
Well,
porn.
it's just
and then,
R+. plus.
well, today, yes, R plus. But in any event, perfect segue into Chabdog Racing.
Here comes Speed Racer. He's a demon on wheels. He's a demon and he's gonna be chasing after someone. He's gaining on you, so you better look alive. He's busy revving up the powerful Mach 5. And when the odds are against him and there's dangerous work to do, bet your life, Speed Racer, see it through. Go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go! He's up and flying as he guns the car around the track. He's jamming down the pedal like he's never coming back. Adventure's waiting just ahead. Go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go!
And your host of Chabdog Racing, Abe Miranda.
Well, hi, everybody, and again, happy Mother's Day, and welcome to Chabdog Racing here with the Chabdog family and all the Chabdog mothers out there, and I hope that you guys are all excited for our NASCAR race coming up a little bit later today, and of course, I always look forward to seeing you guys on Facebook, so please feel free to comment, call the show, let us know how you feel about our upcoming race. In breaking news, Kentucky Derby winner Medina Spirit fails the drug test, the post-race drug test. What a mess, guys. What a mess.
Oh, my God. That's a huge thing, isn't it? Can they take that win away from her? Or him?
It's all I can tell you guys. It's going to be ugly from here. So just keep your eyeballs on the news. Obviously, the owner is denying it. They're saying we didn't do it. That is a direct quote from Bob Baffert, who is the owner of Medina Spirit.
Medina is baffled.
And all I can say that it is ugly. It looks like Medina Spirit might be disqualified.
Wow. So the question then becomes, what happens with all the bets that went, a certain way because Medina supposedly won? Like, what do you do about that?
That's where it's going to get ugly, guys.
I don't have that
there's
anymore.
a lot of questions there.
I can see, people who won big. That money's gone.
slot machine.
I think. Well, I think an insurance.
Already,
No,
guys.
I think an insurance company would probably have to pick up some kind of a tab. You know,
Look,
that's probably some kind of business risk
I don't
that
get it. I mean, this is a huge race.
Vegas
You know,
is
it's
taking.
like the Olympics, right? I mean, you don't want to go to the Olympics dirty because you know they're going to test you. Yet they know you're going to get tested. I mean, this isn't some random race at the Santa Anita racetrack in California. This is the Kentucky Derby. Of course, the horses are going to get tested. You know, like there's no other way to do it. Why
What
would
a
you
mess.
even consider that? Now they're saying we don't know, we have no clue, so they're investigating it. They're trying to see if there was some sabotaging on other owners' parts. Was it the trainer? I mean, there's
Well,
just
what was in the what did they find in there that caused it to
Oh,
fail?
marijuana. The horse was smoking marijuana.
Yeah, right. What do they give horses?
I don't know. You know, I have no idea what exactly they. I'm assuming for some sort of performance enhancing drug.
Yes.
That you put in
Steroids.
horses to boost them, maybe like steroids or something like that. But
Mm-hmm.
it's something to that. But the drug is called betamethasone. If you want to look it up.
Oh, okay. Betamethasone. That's a drug that it opens up the capillaries, so allows the blood flow.
Capillaries.
The capillaries. Better. Capillaries. You know what I'm talking about. It opens up it significantly speeds up the flow. It doesn't. Yeah, it has not good long-term health effects on the horse, but it does make it go a lot faster. It's like turbocharging the horse for the race.
Okay.
The horse got
And
some
that might be
Viagra.
Why Medina Spirit was up front almost the entire race, if not the entire race.
That horse looked.
was-
I said to myself, that horse looks like he's on something.
But they've got to. So all the owners, they all use this, and it all burns off before the last urine test before the race. There's a way that you cycle it.
Yeah.
It's like they all know they're doing it. They all deny they're doing it. They all cycle it. That you before, so it's gone before the last urine test, and then the horse runs. And obviously, if that's the case, yeah, this is a case.
We didn't
of either
mean
it
for
was
to
there,
miscalculate
or they got
it.
caught, or
Yeah.
somebody miscalculated its use, and they got caught, which is because they're all using it.
So they are using it.
Every horse on the track must have had some of it. Yeah, that's normal, except the ones that really lost
That's
by
bullshit,
like a
man.
huge amount.
That shouldn't
It's
be
racing, man. This is what goes on.
Is
What are you talking about? You don't
that
think they
good
don't
for?
cheat?
That's not. How do we know that's good for the animal at all?
It isn't good for the animal at all. We
So
know that.
that's terrible.
Dude, you got a chance to make millions of dollars or prolong an
Are
animal's
you
life for a few more
justifying?
months.
I mean,
I'm
are you
not
justifying?
at all. I'm saying I can see how very
Well,
people in the moment-
You're explaining it.
I'm explaining how people in the moment might make the very wrong decision.
Well, I think the animal rights people are going to be all over this, and
they are already.
I mean, they should be. I really don't like knowing that this is the case. If it is, then it kind of does sour me on the horse racing.
Oh well, but Abe,
just
you're
not-
100%
I mean, it's
correct.
not
What a
right.
complete mess! What a complete mess!
Yes, it is a complete mess, and it is. I guess all eyes are going to be now on the number 2 horse, which I believe might have been Mandalore. But I'll take a look here real quick for you. But I did see that.
Well,
that
did your
was gonna be
horse
a-
show now? Did your horse move up? Your horse finished
Eric,
4th, didn't it?
Eric, I have an idea too. I have an idea.
Sandwich is coming back.
Yeah, soup and sandwich.
Soup and sandwich is coming
We
back.
should test Abe's knowledge of racing by playing this Kentucky Derby clip and seeing if he can guess what year it is.
Oh, I killed the clip though.
You killed it?
I killed it. I can find it again.
Oh, that's we got this great Kentucky Derby. It's
Well, I'm sure Abe's got other things to cover in
yeah.
Chabdog Racing
Anyway,
here than listen to.
do you
old
do you
clips.
like? Well, I want to know. Did you enjoy when you were growing up listening to horse racing or watching it on TV?
I did enjoy watching the Kentucky Derby. Matter of fact, my mom and my stepfather, he is from Kentucky, and actually they lived in Kentucky for almost 20 years. So having watching the Kentucky Derby was something that we would watch just about every single year. We'd watch all the pomp and all the jazz and just everything that kind of goes into it. I mean, it's amazing how much effort, how many hats, how many dresses are worn for a very quick race.
Yeah,
so I think it's more about
it's a
the
spectacle
than the actual race, but it's a nice thing.
Yeah,
to
no,
see every
it's an experience, but I'm just in terms of broadcasting, like what I remember is Dave Johnson doing the Kentucky Derby. That guy had a great voice. Did you ever hear any of his broadcasts?
Well, I'm sure I came across it in the last 20 years.
Yeah, that guy can really do it.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a clip that was the 2006, I think, and there was all these great horses in it. Sinister Minister. That was one of the names. Nobody's around to help me here, but Point Departure Point or something. Point of Departure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, a bunch of names of courses I liked. And
can we come back to
the
current decade?
Yeah. Okay. So now we're going back to what's going on today in NASCAR.
Well,
I know, actually, I can tell you. I'll just say it's something at Darlington, right?
You are right.
Yes, that is correct. So for today's race, it's going to be in Darlington. That's going to be the Goodyear 400. This one is being conducted at the Darlington Raceway. This is an oval track. It's about 1 1/3 mile long track. This can be it's a 400-mile race. There's 239 laps. It will be broadcast today on FS1. It is located in Darlington, South Carolina. This is one of the oldest tracks in NASCAR. They have been hosting NASCAR since 1950. So I don't think anybody on this show was born before 1950. I don't think so.
Before 1950? No.
No. So
Not by a long
this is
shot.
a very old track. Now the race car driver who's won the most races at Darlington happens to once again be Jeff Gordon. I believe he has won 6 times here at Darlington. So this is he kind of holds that record for having the most wins at Darlington. Now, one of the special things about today's race is that they're going to put on that cool throwback paint. So the cars are going to look like, ads from the 70s, from the 80s. They're going to
really
kind of
cool.
look like what they look like in the 90s. So it's just kind of this throwback
I'm gonna like
paint
that.
schemes that they're going to have on the cars today.
So that's on. Is that on
really
Fox?
cool to see that.
Is that race on
What's that?
Fox? Is that on Fox?
Yeah.
No, that race is going to be on FS1 today. It starts at 12:30 Chabdog time and 3:30 p.m. Eastern.
That'd be something to see, actually. I might just watch some of that because I remember when watching those NASCAR races when I was a kid. So that'll probably bring back, those great memories of watching that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'll look at some of those cars and it'll bring back some memories. And so today is that throwback race that a lot of folks are kind of looking forward to as far as the cool paint scheme.
Nice.
Now, if you follow us on Facebook, and feel free to join our Facebook group if you haven't already. I've already posted a link for all the NASCAR throwback paint schemes for all the cars. So if you go to the Facebook group, you'd be able to already preview basically all the different paint schemes on the different cars that are going to be running today. So again, if you're not in the Facebook
where did he put
group,
that?
go ahead and
On
the Facebook group.
Yeah.
The Facebook groups we can.
Chabdog Sports
Talk.
Talk, Chabdog Prime Time. Facebook group has all this stuff on it, so definitely go
Fantastic.
there. Yes. Now the other thing that's very interesting about Darlington is that it's not a very wide track. It's a long track. It's over a mile, but it's not very wide. And so what happens is that the cars are kind of racing against the wall there. So that racetrack is notorious for something called the Darlington stripes. And that means that you'll see these stripes on the side of the car, especially the right side of the car, because they're scraping up against the wall. So this is kind of a very close race. You know, when you try to go like too wide, you know, that's about as wide as that thing, that racetrack looks like. Now, you go 3 wide on that racetrack, I mean, you got somebody there on that line down below. I mean, this is a very, not a very wide, very narrow racetrack.
That can be dangerous, isn't it? That seems more dangerous to have a smaller.
Well, you know what?
It's fun.
Yeah, that's one of the things about the Darlington. It is a little bit more dangerous because it's a narrower track and the guys are up against the wall.
Dangerous Darlington.
Then, you know, and that's the thing about every racetrack. Every racetrack just has a unique, you could say a unique thrill factor to it. And Darlington is very close to the wall. Now, you go to Talladega, you go to Daytona. Now, we're talking about very high speeds. You're talking to speeds of nearly 200 miles per hour, and that comes up with its own thrill factor where cars start flying in the air when things go wrong, as we saw at the last race with
Joey Logano.
Or the race before, with the race before that where we saw
flying an airplane.
Cars starting to fly.
Oh, literally. That thing caught major air.
Yeah, we talked about that.
It was like Elon Musk rocket launch.
It's like the Speed Racer promo when the car goes AWOL.
Except this guy lived.
It
flew.
It may fly. And so that's what I say. I think every racetrack has its thrill factor. I mean, when you look at some of the short tracks, like Martinsville, for example, where it's such a tiny little track, well, that comes with its own unique thrill factor, you can say. You know, so that's kind of.
I know. I'm really glad that the tracks are different. To me, that's if they were all homogenized, standardized, and you know that would be boring. We don't need that. This adds a whole new factor to analyzing who might win the race, right?
Well, it's home field too. Yeah, you get home field advantage. Some people are going to be better on a track like that than not. Some cars can be engineered.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah, if you know the track better.
And that's kind of the nice thing about NASCAR and the fact that they do it. Every racetrack is unique. Every racetrack is different. You know, there's different setups for the cars. You know, some racetracks, you know, you're going to have a very small, you know, spoiler in the back. Others are going to have them larger, and it just depends on the racetrack. You know, some of them are going to start, and that's just what's unique about NASCAR and about the racetracks, and that's what's so awesome about going to different racetracks, because you really do experience a different race. And, you know, people will tell you, you know, people who've gone to Daytona 500 and they've gone to Talladega will tell you, even though it's the same cars, they're two completely different races, you know. And that's what's amazing about racing. Now, just to get back to something that's going on today as well, today we did have the F1 Ramerco Gran Premio de España 2021, and this was your F1 race today in Barcelona, España. And of course, rinse, lather, repeat of Portugal, which was 2 weeks ago. Again, Lewis Hamilton in first, Max Verstappen in second, and Bottas in number third again. So again, this is a rinse, lather, repeat of our last race, and it's just the same guys winning the same race. But I will tell you, at least the racetrack is different. That is in Barcelona. Just so you guys know, if you remember the 1992 Spanish Olympics, remember those?
Yeah, in Barcelona.
So this racetrack was actually built in preparation for the 1992 Olympics in Barcelona.
Oh, yeah?
And it also happens to be the winter track, the winter training track for a lot of the drivers, because as you know, some of the drivers are based out of England or other countries where it gets really cold or it's rainy or it's wet, and it's not ideal to be training during the wintertime. So what they end up doing, a lot of race car teams, is they end up going to Barcelona and they actually are doing their training on the Barcelona track. So for many drivers, Barcelona is really a home track for them because they do a lot of winter training there. And so that's just kind of what I wanted to touch on F1. And 2 weeks from now, Monaco.
Oh, I see.
Will on the list here.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be the Monaco 2021 F1 Grand Prix, and that's coming to you next 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now.
And that's replacing Monaco?
No. Monaco's in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that is Monaco.
Oh, I thought, but there was another track in Barcelona you were talking about.
Yeah, where the race is today, the Spanish Grand Prix in Barcelona.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Because when I think of Grand Prix, I think of Monaco.
He was saying it in a proper Andalusian accent there. Barcelona.
Barcelona?
Barcelona?
Yes.
Barcelona.
Barcelona's for that's what those British.
Yeah.
He's in Spanish from Spain for some reason. It's Barcelona.
Barcelona.
So that's what we got going on there. And of course, for our last race, which was the Bushy McBush Race 400 in Kansas City, Kansas.
Won by Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch.
Over Kansas, Kyle Busch wins in his M&M car on his birthday. And it's followed by Kevin Harvick and Brad Keselowski in his Ford. Of course, Denny Hamlin, soup and sandwiched, led the race, but came behind and lost it in the final stretch. So that's what we got going on. Of course, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, and the Toyota Ford wins the Bushy McBush race. Of course, it was a beautiful race. Of course, Denny Hamlin, he led a lot of it. Again, he souped and sandwiched. He was soup and sandwich, of course, the horse that I picked, Kentucky Derby. And I'm going to be calling him soup and sandwich until he actually wins a race because he's always leading. He's always up front. He's always doing good about 3/4 of the way into the race, and then something happens, and next thing you know, he's just getting passed up. So, soup and sandwiched for Denny Hamlin. And, of course, we like to always end the segment with choosing our checkered flag for today. I will tell you, Hendrick Motorsports, they're the ones who've had the most wins at Darlington Raceway. And just about everybody has won in Hendrick's Motorsport a race this year except for Chase Elliott in the number 9. And that's going to be in the throwback Hooters car today. So, today, I'm going to go with Chase Elliott in the number 9 in the Hootermobile that you will see today in that old paint scheme. And so when you see that Hooter car, I want you to remember me.
Hooter.
It's a Hooter car.
Hooter car.
Guys got any checkered flags today?
That'll look pretty cool.
I'll think of Big Jugs when I see that. I'll think of you and Big Jugs. Hooters.
I don't know. Why don't we go with Kyle Busch again? He's the only one I can think of.
Well, yeah, because you think Hooters, you naturally think of Busch, right?
No, I was thinking more Busch beer.
Hey, isn't this the Big Bang Show?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that was last week. Actually, it is this week. That's right. We got Big Bang, but let me just
explain
first
the Big
of all,
Bang thing later.
Abe.
Thank you.
And let me just check in and see if we got Bro Namath on the line. Do we have Bro Namath on the line? Oh, we have lost Bro Namath. Yeah, I wasn't sure whether he was still with us or not, or that was somebody else.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. We're expecting Bro Namath at some point.
Mystery guest, please call back in.
Yeah. Well, his number's still showing up here. Though.
Yeah. Well, that's let's see if we either one of us can get one again. But I had a question for you.
What do you mean, an erection?
No, a win.
A win.
I guess not.
They're far more elusive than erections are. That's for sure.
A win. It'd be nice if we could pick the winner one of these days in car racing. But that seems pretty difficult.
I was close. Last week I was on the fence between of course, my pick of Martin Truex Jr. in the number 19 car, and I was like Kyle Busch. I love his M&M paint scheme. He's bringing it out. It was his birthday. I mean, I should have picked him just based on that. I was so close.
Those intangibles.
No cigar. Let's see if the Hooters car has any better luck today.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see the paint scheme on that. Probably white and
orange. And a black
Does it
owl.
have an owl on it?
Oh, got it. Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Big eyes.
I think that would look pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. You know, if you go onto the Facebook group, you'll be able to see it there. The paint scheme for the number 9 today. So that's up on our Facebook group. Again, one of the reasons why, if you're listening to the show, join our Facebook group, because throughout the week we do provide little bits and tips and little, things that are in the news and things that we're going to talk about on the show. And of course, you get to see things like that Miami F1 circuit that's coming up next year. If you go onto the Facebook group, you'll be able to see the link for that virtual track. So if you're into that, see that. And of course, today's paint scheme. And of course, you know what? Other members do really good job of throwing other NASCAR news and other bits and tips for all the viewers and audience members. So we were there. Join the Facebook group.
Oh, on Formula One racing, I did want to ask you this. So, is it the situation now that there's not a Formula One race in the United States?
No, we do. We do have one. We have one in Texas.
Okay, so that's always been the situation. There's always been at least one, right, for a long time?
Well, there was one in Texas, and I believe that they've only been around for they weren't always there. I remember that there was a time when Formula One had no racetracks in the U.S., at least that I can recall, and then all of a sudden we got Texas. That was about a while, but that was a while ago. And then we've been on Texas ever since, and I believe those races are somewhere like in October range. And then just what happens is next year we're just getting another circuit in the U.S. So we're going to have Texas and Miami, which is really cool. So next year we're going to have two big races here in the U.S. And I'm hoping to make it to one of them, especially the Miami one. And I'm hoping, because that's a Sunday, I'm hoping to be doing a Chabdog show from the Miami Grand Prix next year.
Yeah, live.
We'll look forward to that.
The roaring engines.
Yeah, that's something that I'm really looking forward to. I'm going to see if I can make my way out to Texas this year. I would love to do a Chabdog show there. And I like to travel a lot, so there will be times where I might be doing a Chabdog show from a different location. I could tell you later this month, I'll be doing a Chabdog show from Walt Disney World. We had some credits that we needed to use because our trip got completely canceled last year. So we're making it up this year in a couple weeks from now. So we'll have the Walt Disney World special Chabdog Racing segment. And we'll be doing that one live from Walt Disney World.
When you show up for the show up in that beautiful car of yours, okay? We saw it. It's a beautiful car.
I tried to take out that.
It's a really nice car.
Every single time I can.
and so you should.
Spotless.
Just to remember, it's a 2019.
Yes, it's a 2019 C7
final edition
Chevrolet Corvette with a manual transmission, last of its generation,
C7
with a front engine, a hood that opens outwards. It's the traditional Vette that it's basically the masterpiece of from 1953 to 2019. The car basically stayed the same. It was in 2020 when the engine went to the mid-engine Vette, and And then, of course, there's no manual transmission in the 2020s and beyond. And a lot of that is because of the strengthened center, the center of the car. They put the hardened steel and things like that.
Titanium.
The mid-engine vet. And so they really don't have if they start cutting into it, put a manual transmission, then you're going to start weakening the frame. And there's a lot of horsepower there. And that frame likes to twist if you don't have it under control there. So just doing anything to compromise the structure of the frame will kind of not be good for the car on the long term.
Yeah.
So
Sounds like a modern
battleship.
Sounds like a modern day Corvair.
Yeah. We could go
like
on
your
and
car,
on.
right?
It's a great car. When I saw it, I put my mask on immediately, even though we were outside, because I didn't want to even breathe on it. So I don't know.
Very impressive car.
I don't know if that car is an extension of your personality. That's great.
Kind of is actually, but
or if it's just an extension for you, whatever.
Well, it's only fitting that your race guy on your racing segment has a race car.
Yes. Better that it's you. That would be the problem with me because I don't have a race car.
Yeah, you have a Prius.
I dream of a race car. All right, we're going to our break now. We'll be right back. Second half of Chabdog Sports Talk.
Yeah, don't go away. We're coming right back, but we'll play some great stuff here on the break here. We got to fix our coffee and you fix yours.
We're told that greatness is exceptional when it should be expected. You choose every day to live your life intentionally, without apology for how bright your light may shine. So go be great. Go be brilliant. Go be you. Go defy life. The Defy Life movement is one that speaks to each of us in its own way. Defy Life gear speaks to us all by reminding us that one size does not fit all. Visit defylifegear.com to get fitted for greatness.
The law office of Brandon S. Chabner, serving clients in Southern California with transactional legal services since 2007. We handle general, corporate, outside counsel type work, drafting and negotiating a wide variety of business and commercial contracts, including non-disclosure agreements, independent contractor agreements, and employment agreements. Our experience includes working with public and private companies and involves a broad range of industries, including healthcare, consumer products, real estate, and high technology. Mr. Chabner has over 20 years of legal experience, having worked for some larger national firms and serving as general counsel for a multi-million-dollar private company here in Southern California before starting his own legal practice. His educational credentials include a law degree from UCLA, where he was on law review, undergraduate degree at Yale, where he graduated magna cum laude, and an MBA from Harvard Business School. Other areas of focus for Chabner Law include press release and business plan editing, pre-litigation matters, and debt and mortgage resolution work. You can contact us at 310-698-0740 and at bchabner@chabnerlaw.com.
Like Chabdog said, he was 100% right.
He can take all comers.
Are you our lawyer?
Well, I'm a lawyer.
This is Ensign Keith, Lieutenant Kiefer.
Keith, you're the co-defendant.
Yes, sir.
And you, Mr. Kiefer?
I'm holding his coat.
What does that mean?
I'm a friend of the family.
That's pretty flip under the circumstances, Mr. Kiefer.
Sorry. I was on board the Cain, communications officer.
I'm going to be frank with you two. I've read the preliminary investigation very carefully, and I think that what you've done stinks.
Well, if that's the way you feel about it, then why are you taking the case?
I didn't say I'd take it. I told legal I'd have a talk with Mr. Merrick. Whether I take it or not depends on what he has to say.
Steve, maybe you'd better get yourself another lawyer.
Try it. 8 other officers have already turned it down. I don't want to upset you too much, but at the moment you have an excellent chance of being hanged.
We'll answer anything you want to know, Mr. Greenwald.
All right, Mr. Merrick, which are you? A fool or a mutineer? There's no third possibility.
Well, I guess the only way I could prove I was right was to let the ship go down.
3 ships were lost in the typhoon, you know.
Sure. and 194 stayed afloat without the executive officer relieving the skipper.
There wasn't any other choice.
Hold it, Willie. Okay, maybe I was a fool, but I'm not a mutineer.
He should get a medal for what he did. He had a paranoid skipper who went to pieces when the ship was in danger, and he saved the ship.
The Navy has 3 psychiatrists who are prepared to testify that Captain Queeg is completely sane.
Sure. Paranoids are clever. They walk a thin dividing line between sanity and lunacy.
Are you a psychiatrist, Mr. Kiefer?
No, I'm a writer. It's my business to be a judge of human behavior.
I see. And you were the first one to notice the captain's psychotic symptoms.
Yes.
You explained all this very carefully to Mr. Marek, of course.
I discussed it, yes.
Well, that's an interesting point. Would you be prepared to repeat it on the witness stand?
Why not?
Mr. Kiefer, you ought to take a look at Article 186 of Navy Regulations. An officer relieving his commanding officer or recommending such action, together with all others who so counsel, must bear the legitimate responsibility for and must be prepared to justify such action.
That's confusing the issue. I'm not on trial. If I were, I'd take the rap with the others.
It's too bad we can't use you as an expert on psychiatry. After all, you made the diagnosis.
Yes. The atmosphere's getting a little thick in here. If you can get along without me, I'll wait in the hall.
Tom had nothing to do with it. It was my decision. Nobody counseled me. Nobody told me what to do.
Sure.
Will you take the case?
I'd much rather prosecute.
Well, I guess I can't blame you.
I'll take it.
How do we plead?
Your case depends on Marek.
Well, then how do I plead?
Not guilty, of course. You're a great naval hero.
Rafe, get rid of the women and children.
All right, ladies. Let's go.
What you men fixing to do?
Old-fashioned prayer meeting, ma'am. Let's go now. Come on. Let's go.
Prayer meeting, that's pretty funny.
Claude Akins.
Yeah, Claude
Just a
Akins.
break, buddy,
Sidney Poitier.
I ain't your buddy. You
Tony
got
Curtis.
your buddy.
Okay.
Which one of you did it? Did you do it? Why did you do it? How is he, Sam?
He ain't come to yet. He ought to be all right.
Yeah, he ought to be. Did he do it? You protecting your buddy? Well, it don't matter. You both gonna hang.
You can't do anything to us. We escaped cons.
So?
So they're gonna be looking for us. What are you gonna do when they find us?
You're gonna be crow meat when they find you. That's what's gonna happen.
Well, you ain't gonna get away with it.
Nobody's gonna know who pulled the rope.
Don't you know there's a reward for escaped convicts?
Rewards always say dead or alive.
Don't you understand? You can't go lynching me. I'm a white man.
You are. I'll tell you the kind of white man you are. Spit on him.
For God's sake.
Go on. Spit on him. Let me alone, Sam. We just having a little fun, huh, boys? Come on. You heard me.
Wait a minute.
Get out of my way, Sam, or you gonna have trouble, too.
I already told you. Joe's gonna be all right.
You told me. Fine.
You just don't give a damn, do you? All right. The rest of you big men, you want to lynch him, huh? You, Glover. You look anxious. Go ahead, tie it around their necks. Go on! You want blood, huh? Here. Go ahead, chop them up. Go on!
Or do you want to burn them?
You want to burn, huh? You want to burn him? Or do you want to burn him? Go on, burn him! Mac! Go on, burn their eyes out! Now, any more big men?
Joe's all right. Took 6 stitches, but he's okay.
All right. Lock them 2 up. I'll take them there back in the morning in the wagons. Put Mac in his shack where he belongs, and the rest of you go on to bed.
And we're back.
Did you see that movie?
Never have.
No, I haven't either. I haven't seen the whole movie. I've just seen some clips. Seems like probably pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
What a concept.
Pretty serious there, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice.
So this is the second hour, and is that other caller back, or is he?
No.
He has not returned.
We got Abe and whoever the Abe.
Oh, okay.
Whatever it was, yeah, disappeared. So,
well, we haven't talked in detail about what's going on in sports right now, but Major League Baseball's, as you know, ongoing, and some things I've noticed are that the Dodgers are a little mortal. They're no longer kicking everybody's ass. They've been kind of, as Tank would say, scuffling a little bit, and I think they won last night against the Angels. It was a slugfest, but
yeah, it was a football score, dude. It was 14-11.
Yeah, wow.
Extra innings.
But it's not pitching. I don't understand why the pitching isn't good. But things happen. Go through a lot of these ebbs and flows through the course.
Kershaw started last night. Maybe that tells you something.
Uh-oh. Maybe he's starting to feel his age.
And Carrot Top is out for the rest. He's got to get Tommy John surgeon, so he's out the rest of the season now, you know.
Oh, yeah, Dustin?
Yeah, Dustin Pedroia.
Not Pedroia.
No.
Dustin something.
Dustin. Save us, Abe.
Brown. Is it Brown?
Brown?
I'm not sure. He's that young pitcher they have who's everybody raves about.
Yeah, the long red hair.
Maybe the Dodgers are a little short on starting pitching. But they have Walker Buehler.
Yeah.
I think they're fine. I don't think anybody's going to take that division away from them. The St. Louis Cardinals have been playing better. They're like 20-14. I don't know what to make of that. Other than they're always the same. They always play good fundamental baseball and beat the teams they should beat. Right now they're socking it to the Pirates, which I have to live with every year.
Mm-hmm.
Like taxes and death and all sorts of other unpleasant things. It just happens. And in the East, the Mets, I think, are on top, aren't they?
Yeah, well, you know, this segues into let's segue into an extra edition of Buy, Sell, and Hold here.
Okay.
Because they are, and we'll cover all this.
Nice intro. 70s, right? Louis Ruckhauser.
Yeah, Louis Ruckhauser, Wall Street Week. Wall Street Week. And now the theme to Buy, Sell, and Hold.
I used to watch that when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I used to. I liked him.
Yes, it is Buy, Sell, and Hold.
With
famous
Eric,
World.
the Wellread Survey.
Yeah, brought to you by Wellread, and we're going to take the division leaders and the division bottom, and figure out if it's what do we do with them right now. And we'll start with the East in the American League. Boston, 21-13.
I told you to buy 2 weeks ago, and I'm still saying buy.
Yeah,
they got a little of everything, and they got some of the pitching they got from the Angels was a gift from God. They got Garrett Richards, and he's been having a good year.
Mm-hmm.
And Erod's looking pretty good. He's their left-hander. And Nathan Eovaldi. And so they got some starting pitching. The relief pitching's not that bad. And J.D. Martinez is hitting the crap out of the ball.
Yeah, I got to admit, I'm kicking myself for not buying that earlier because this is going to go on for a while. So yeah, I'm on the bandwagon. Probably my buying is going to drop them, but I'm a buy. How about you, Abe?
You know what? Buy looks good right now. I mean, I'm not gonna. I wish we could say the Yankees because that would be like sell, sell, sell. But Boston's for sure. I gotta buy.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the Yankees, the Jays, and the Rays are all sitting there with 17 wins behind the 21. So it's not like there's, we're 1/6 of the way into the season. So there's a lot.
No, but
of ways to go.
that's good for the Red Sox that they got the lead because the rest of those teams are going to beat each other up.
Yeah, that's where I see. Yeah, that's what Red Sox are great at being. They win the early part. They win the first half.
I mean, the Rays are really a good team.
They can win the first half all they want. And at the other end, we got Baltimore, the Orioles, 15 and 18. Chabdog, buy, sell, or hold?
Sell.
Yeah,
I
would have bought them to begin with.
They're going to be even mediocre. The bottom's going to fall out of that, like it always does.
It's too bad we don't have your uncle on to defend him.
I know.
He wouldn't do that either.
I got to get back in touch with him. I don't know what's going on now. With
Oh, he's having a good time in Florida. He is.
I didn't think he could live without our show. Because I enjoyed having him on so much. But he's obviously got things going on, and I'll have to talk to him. It's just sometimes we got off the habit of having him on, but I'd love to have him back.
I guess we're always having to chase guests down. Yeah, I would have sold Baltimore already if I had any. And if I found some in my portfolio, I would sell it immediately. How about you, Abe? You a buyer?
You know what? I'm not gonna take that ride. We're gonna sell Baltimore.
Okay. Let's move now. Moving into the Central, boy. Chicago White Sox, the White Sox, 18 and 13. Who'd have thunk?
People have been talking about them getting better since last year, and last year they were better.
Yeah, I mean the Royals. When we did this a month ago or 3 weeks ago, the Royals were.
Yeah, the White Sox have some good young talent, so I'd be holding them. I don't know about anything else, but I think they're going to kind of stay towards the top of that division.
Yeah, I gotta agree. Put a hold on there and watch, and maybe next time we're around, make the buy if they're still good in 3 weeks. What do you think, Abe? White Sox?
White Sox, they're looking good. I think that there's, but they're, Cleveland's right on their heels too. I mean, this is close. I would speculate on the hold. So I'm going to go with a hold right now, but let's see in 3 weeks how we look.
Yeah, that's where we're hedging right now.
Close.
Because at the other end of the Central, we got Detroit, and Tigers are all the way down at 10 and 24. Is there any hope for them, Chabdog? Anything? Any rebound here?
No, I don't think anybody's going to want to be in their position. They have no pitching and not much hitting, and it's a great hitter's ballpark, so teams just come in there and pound away, and it's not going to stop. So they're sell.
So will we find Detroit at the bottom 3 weeks from now as well?
Yeah, I think Kansas City's going to hold up and a little bit. They're gonna be better than Detroit.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll always be better than Detroit. So I guess that means I'm going to hold Detroit to be at the bottom, which means I'm going to sell. But I mean, I think they're going to still remain at the bottom here. So, all right.
Nobody wants to be a bottom feeder.
Abe, what are you going to do about Detroit?
Oh no, I think they got washed out today because of the rain. I think they were playing against the Twins. So
it's called a stay of execution.
Yeah.
And that's going to be their
The
thing.
Twins aren't very good either, though. Twins are not very good.
Yeah, they're better than Detroit.
Now, if they got a good promo, I will come if they offer me a bobblehead or something. I might come, good bobblehead.
Okay. I hope they're listening. That's an invitation.
Hello.
So.
Okay.
Fascinating.
All right, and then in the West, new leader, the A's. Yeah, taking over for Seattle, 21 and 14. 21 and 14. Yeah, they're emerging power. in the West. They look for real. Chabdog, you buying them? You buy that?
Regular season A's are a good investment.
Don't make a fuck out of me.
Really?
Yeah, they got a lot of talent. It's not the kind of talent that blows you away in terms of all-stars and guys that are recognizable, but they're a well put together team. They have pretty good pitching, and they have Chris Davis. They're sort of no-namey, but they're good, and so I see them probably fighting with the Astros to win that division, and then I don't see that changing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm holding them right now.
Seattle, I told you before, I don't trust Seattle, and so I don't see them hanging in there for much longer.
Yeah, I'd like to think that Oakland is that kind of team. I just need to see them a little longer. So I'm going to hold them with the idea of they're still here 3 weeks from now. I'll start buying that. How about are you sold on these guys, Abe?
Yes, I'm very sold on the Oakland A's. I mean, one of the things that was very interesting about the Oakland A's this season is, I mean, they had like a 13-game consecutive winning streak, and that was a really great start to the Oakland A's this season. So if you're an Oakland A's fan, I mean, you just got to be proud that your team started really good this season, like amazingly strong. I mean, 13-game winning streak just kind of out the gate. Now, of course, could it turn into a soup and sandwich situation later?
Mm-hmm.
It could. I mean, they're in the lead right now. It looks great. But, of course, with time, is Houston going to creep up there and take over like a juiced Medina Spirit, which is fitting for the Houston Astros? Mm-hmm. We don't know. We're going to see what happens here. But I am definitely buying the Oakland A's.
Mm-hmm.
What are you, sucking his dick?
Where'd that come from?
And at the other end of the scale, we have the poor Angels, who were.
I told you.
Now
Do I lie?
Yeah, and I went. And
Remember
bought
that? I told you they sucked, and
I put some money into them last time, and now they're 14 and 18. They're circling the drain, and
it's only just the beginning.
Yeah.
This team will probably win. They definitely could lose 100 games, and it could get ugly very fast. I heard they are releasing Albert Pujols.
That is done. They have released Albert Pujols.
Okay,
Finished, complete.
So the bottom must have really fallen off for him because, this is one of the greatest players in our era, and he's just gone now. I mean, what happened?
In the final year of his contract, too, by the way.
So he must have. Do you know what his stats were this year? Does anybody know?
They weren't huge. They're in the low 203 or something.
So he was hitting 203. Probably had like 4 or 5 homers.
He wasn't getting a lot of bat time. They weren't giving him a lot of time, and he wasn't liking that. He wanted more playing time. They were giving it to him. There's some strife there.
So his skills just really deteriorated. I mean, this should be the end for him.
Well, he's not. You think he's going to play in AAA somewhere?
Yeah, I mean, unless somebody picks him up. But
yeah, like maybe Houston or something.
I don't think the evidence is there that anybody's going to want to pick him up. So, for him it worked out fine. He passed Willie Mays. He's got 667 home runs, and he's got, I think his batting average is around 300. He's got 3,000 plus hits, and so he's a first ballot inductee.
Well, I guess so.
I think his production was so spectacular when he was playing.
Mm-hmm. The only way he played for St. Louis it was. I mean, boy, didn't Anaheim get the
Anaheim got the short end of it, but he still put up some pretty good numbers with Anaheim.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're worth the contract, but they were good numbers, sure.
Yeah, Anaheim's problem has always been, I think, pitching, and without it, you just can't usually succeed. So
you don't think it was Gene Autry?
But the Angels have been miserable performers. I mean, how many times have they made the playoffs in the last 10 years? It's not very many.
Yeah, only when they could beat the Yankees, which they did very well when they did, but oh well.
So, fond farewell to Albert, Fat Albert, and
Abe, what are your thoughts on the Angels?
I would sell those Angels immediately.
It's tough. They had, they still have a good guy. I still believe in Trout. And I'm just surprised with how the Angels are playing this year. But then again, it's they're not doing too well. And to be saying that the Mets are playing better than the Angels right now, that's a pretty
Oh,
good
come
guess,
on. You're always running
for
down
the
them, but
Angels. I'm going to go with sell.
yeah.
Sell on the Angels.
I think I talked them into it.
And that's a good segue into the National East, where the Mets somehow.
Wow, you're going to go through
are
each.
still up top at 15 and 13. So the scrappy Mets.
They're tied for first against Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And it seems like the team is starting to finally come together on them, and that just seems like maybe it's time to put a. I mean, I sold them, so I don't know if I don't know if I want to buy them so high in the stock right now. That's the tough part, but I might buy a couple shares here at the Mets.
I'll hold them.
Oh, at 15 and 13, the Mets are starting to turn me. I think they're going to be still at the top of the division next time we come around here some way, somehow. This team's scrappy. They like to fight with rats in the tunnel, so I'm a buyer of the Mets right now. And at the other end of the scale, we got their arch nemesis, Washington, at 13 and 16. Chabdog, are the Nationals worth anything?
They're not worth that much. They'll probably, I think, it's a hold sell. I don't know. It's definitely not a buy.
I think it's an
unenthusiastic hold. I just think that division kind of sucks, and they're going to benefit from that, and they'll probably be around 500 for a long time.
I think they'll be sitting at the bottom of the division for a while. They'll be here the next time we come around. So they're definite sell or hold to say, they'll be here next time.
I mean, they're not going to really be contending for the division title, I don't think. They'll just be contending to stay out of the cellar.
That's funny. They won the World Series 2 years ago, right?
Right, but they had questionable hitting when they won it, and some of that hitting left. Mm-hmm. So now they're just punch and Judy hitters with Strasburg, right, and Scherzer.
Yeah.
So they definitely have some pitching, but that's not going to be enough.
Yeah,
I don't think.
Need a little more on that. But Abe, what are your takes on the Nationals?
Well, it's kind of, when you're looking at the bottom and you look at it in totality, they're only 2.5 games back from Philly and the Mets, and I also think that they're only about a half game back from Miami too. So I would say that
Miami
they're kind of narrow banded. I mean, it's narrow banded there that they're in last place. I'm going to put a hold on Washington for right now, and just see what happens as we get more games in, and see how far back they are on the games back. I have a feeling Miami might tank a little bit, and we might see Washington actually maybe not be in complete last place, but they could be, but we'll see. So hold.
Sir, hi. Thank you.
Okay. Well, that wraps up Washington there. Let's move to the Central, where we got St. Louis at 20 and 14. Boy, how the cards have risen. Yeah.
I don't know what to make of that, but do you want to
buy, sell, or hold, dude?
I would hold it, because they are good fundamentally. They're very sound, and they'll go on a few losing streaks, but they'll also win a lot of games. They should. So I would say somebody's gonna have to take that division away from them.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny.
It ain't gonna be my Pirates.
So you're selling.
I'd hold them.
You're holding. Make up your mind.
I'm not
dude.
real enthusiastic, but I'm enthusiastic to hold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I said it already.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take that as a hold, too.
Thank
Why
you.
not? Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Take the wax out of your ears.
Saracana.
Okay, Abe, your turn.
Well, I'm going to go with the buy. I'm just going to buy some St. Louis Cardinal stock.
Some St. Louis paraphernalia.
So I'm put it into my portfolio. I'm keeping track. It's here.
Being so sensitive.
I still think the Brewers are going to win that division, but that's fine. We'll agree to disagree and move on.
Fascinating.
Okay.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. That's the fun. That's the fun part of this game. We'll see. I'm an idiot.
Okay. What's next?
And of course, and your favorite team is at the other end of the scale. We got Pittsburgh, 13 and 19.
Are they below Cincinnati now?
Yes, they're at the bottom of the Central.
I think they're going to end up catching Cincinnati. Cincinnati looks right now like they've just decided to quit, and their pitching
Playoffs?
sucks. Pirates don't have enough hitting. They don't have enough pitching, but they have a little more, I think, altogether than the Reds. So I would say, though, I'd say buy them. Well, not for a long time, though. They're going to suck for another 50 games. But
so they're going to stay in the bottom for a while.
I guess I'll buy it, a week buy, just to get out of the cellar.
All right.
This finger licking good.
How about you, Abe? What do you think of
I love that. I'm
Pirates?
going to buy, but they're going to suck for the next 50.
Yeah, you can buy a lot of them now early.
Great, I love that.
It's
I
the
love
Pirates.
that. I love that.
Stock up on the Pirates.
I'm only kidding with you.
It's the team that Noah Syndergaard doesn't want to have to watch.
Don't talk to me, all right?
We didn't talk about them. They're mired in mediocrity.
Talk to the hand.
At least they're mediocre, though.
They're very mediocre. All right. Well, that's it for Pittsburgh. Let's go westward bound here, where we have the Dodgers. How the mighty have fallen now. The Giants are now 20 and 13.
The Giants are in first place.
Giants are in first place. The Giants.
They must be partying in San Francisco.
It's ridiculous.
Nancy Pelosi's.
So what is your point?
Nancy Pelosi. We were talking about her breasts earlier, but you cut
I wasn't.
short.
You were.
Okay. I was trying to have a conversation with you about it, but
He's dragging us into the gutter again.
You know he's going to suck.
Well, speaking of San Francisco, they are 20 and 13. They have come out of the woodwork to do so with basically nobody on their staff. Well, except for that one guy.
They do, though. They somehow do it. I don't know. Is it a lot of pitching by committee where they like?
They're so
guys,
boring. I don't even watch.
It's
them.
kind of what the Brewers have done, and few other teams.
Oh, I always booed A-Rod.
They haven't. They're getting it done. Do you know much about the San Francisco story? Like Buster Posey, is he having a great year? Who else do they have?
Buster Poindexter.
I'm trying to think of people on San Francisco in their lineup.
Harvey Milk.
Is Panda Express on that team?
Nancy Pelosi.
Kung Fu Panda. Pedro Sandoval.
Pedro Sandoval. Kung Fu Panda.
Maybe. Well, I'm going to have to sell the you-know-what out of them because I don't trust that. I think the Dodgers will take that division at some point with
I'm
ease.
not feeling the Dodgers as much as I were. Maybe they
Well,
will
I
later,
told you
but
they
right
might
now-
have a little bit of a lull for some reason, and right now it's, I guess, because there's pitching issues going on with.
They got a lot of Their hitting sucks. They're
Well, they just
batting-
scored 14 runs.
Well, yeah, but until they went into last night, they were batting like 209 the last 14 games.
That's not
It's
going to
beautiful.
last. Okay, so I'm selling San Francisco. I don't know about you.
I am buying San Francisco. I think they're going to continue in first place for at least another month.
What
or two.
Drek?
Okay, well, let's see. Let's see if Abe can break this up. What do you think, Abe?
You know what? I like this. So I naturally going to have to hold on San Francisco for right now. Hold, but again, that's a.
Okay, well that's a little conservative of you, but I'll let you do it.
I think the Dodgers are gonna put it into overdrive at some point, and I think they're gonna make it interesting with
Maximum
San Francisco.
overdrive.
But it could go either way here. I mean, it just depends on how if they're gonna catch up or not. So
we let them off the hook.
We'll see.
Could go either way.
They're looking good.
Yeah, we
Chill
know
out,
that.
dickwad.
All right, well, I think he's not feeling it for the Giants, and but he just wants to be nice, and he's not going to actually say to sell.
We got one of each here. Let's go to the other extreme here to Colorado.
Oh, Colorado.
12 and 21, Colorado.
We love winners.
What can you say? 12 and 21.
I think it's going to be bad.
That's
I think
a deep
I
hole
think
to dig out. If that's at the
you're-
bottom
you're
of
gonna
everything.
see some bad teams this
Well, no,
year.
that's actually 2 games above Detroit. What am I talking about? Okay. If you thought Detroit was
Colorado
bad,
will not be the worst team in the league, but they're going to continue to have a bad year.
Fuck you, Santa.
Because San Diego's good, and that division is now very competitive except for them. So just, they're not going to have a lot of breaks.
So is Colorado dead?
I think so. They're completely dead. All right. There's no pulse.
Oswald has been shot.
Well, I think Colorado. I'm a seller. Although I'm going to hold them because they're going to be there next time as well. They're not moving from anywhere.
Colorado
at the bottom.
is as dead as that guy in Beyond the Valley of the Dolls who got his head cut off by Superwoman.
Oh, is that where that scene ends? Oh, jeez. Okay, before we get to that, Abe, what are your thoughts on Colorado?
Oh, Colorado. Wow. Well, I could put it to you this way. Arizona is doing better than Colorado, and the Mets are almost sweeping Arizona right now.
Where's the
That usually doesn't happen. So, Colorado, you're looking really bad. You suck this year. I don't know what to tell you. We're gonna sell that stock. If you got that stock in your portfolio, maybe put a little, put it in the Dodgers or the Padres. But definitely, don't keep that Colorado in your portfolio this season.
Here is a bulletin.
It's a falling knife.
Yeah, exactly. Don't stand there falling knife.
Just arrived.
All right, well, I think that concludes buy, sell, or hold, right?
But we do have this.
Do you want to
really
be
good
really
short
bold
clip.
and play this?
I know, I do.
Finely fleshed body. You're a freak, Barzell. You're a stone freak. I'll get to bitch spades, Barzell. Get you mother. The purple blade goes snicker-snack. Ah, yes, jungle lad. Meet my friend Excalibur, mightiest sword of all time. Fought by Woden, the god of time, legendary blade of King Arthur, hurled into the lake, it sprang forth again, all shining and pure. And now it is wielded by she who will eclipse all their deeds. Arthur, Lancelot, and even mighty Coeur de Lion. Superwoman!
Listen, Ronnie.
Mr. Z turns
See, Ronnie,
into
this whole
Superwoman.
thing has been a big game, right? A big put on. We've been putting each other on, man. See, the trouble is that you think it's for real, but it's not. That we're friends, aren't we? Remember, Z-Man? Put the sword away. Come on, Z-Man, put it away. You don't need it.
He called me Z-Man. I'm really Superwoman.
Don't put it in the wrong hole.
Z-Man? There is no Z-Man, varlet. And indeed, it is not a game we play. I am Superwoman.
In horror, he looks at the guy.
You've been a broad all along, right, Barzell? Goddamn broad? A goddamn ugly broad, Barzell! An ugly broad!
Wow. Yeah, for those who couldn't see, you don't want to. He just lopped the guy's head off. So oh, my goodness.
She lopped his head off.
Well, he ended up having a rack, but it wasn't. I could see the quick cut there. It really wasn't his rack of tits. But
yeah.
Speaking of Hooters.
Well, should we give him
Abe,
some?
you're so lucky you didn't get to have to see that. Oh, well.
Yeah. You would have lost your appetite for lunch.
It comes from China.
I don't think it came from China, though.
We do have a pretty. If you like impressions, we got a pretty good.
Yeah, let's run some
clip
impressions
for.
here. We gotta clean the palate.
Like 5 guys impersonating Ed Sullivan in the same clip,
New acts on our 23rd anniversary tour.
including
Can't
Ed
help you
Sullivan.
right now. I'm very, very busy with our show. No, look, it's nothing against you. It's like I told your agent. I think you're the finest trained bear we ever had on our show. Thanks again for calling, and give my regards to your brother, Gentle N. Now, where's my producer, Robert? Roberto. Bobby? Ah, there you are. Now, you know, Bob, we've been together on TV a long time, a sensational number of years. 23 years, you're my most loyal friend. I understand you have a really big idea for our anniversary shoot. Is that true? Is that true? Is that true?
Yes, Ed, I think my ideas are really, really big one. I really do.
Do you really?
I really, really
what you really, really do.
Now, Ed, right now, I'd like to present my idea to you, right here on this stage, an idea which has just concluded a successful 2-week run right here in my brain.
We'll be back in just a minute to hear your fine, fine idea. But first, here's a word from our cameraman, George.
That was me, Rich Lowe.
Young fella. What about our anniversary show? Do you have any sensational ideas for it?
I really think, Ed, I have a
Really good idea.
big one for you.
Do you really?
I really do.
He really does. Well, I'm ready, really does. Now, for the first time anywhere, here is a sensational, remarkable idea from this young fella, George.
Thank you. Now, to get your anniversary show off a really big start, Ed, I thought for this show, to be really special, we'd ask everybody in the audience to stand up and take a bow and have all the celebrities remain seated.
Well, how about that for a really fine idea?
Did you enjoy that? Did you?
Oh, come on, let's really hear it. Really fine idea. You drop in again, you hear?
I will. Good night.
Oh, by the way, while you're up there, say hello to the lighting man and give him my regards from Sylvia and me and say we're going to drop up and see him.
Oh, I will, Ed.
Moving right along with our cue. Right now, we're going to bring out a fine musical talent from our staff. Fellow who writes all the musical songs for our shoe. Raimundo, where are you?
Well, Edo, I was thinking it'd be nice if we had something for all the little youngsters out there, you know, the kiddies.
I thought of him. I saw
I'd just
another
present
Batman
on your stage next Sunday night a real big surprise.
Riddler.
All the way from Mawa, New Jersey. None other than the mighty Mawa Marching Midget Merchant Marine Militiamen. And for the old-timers, the Seattle Combination Civic Symphony and Broad Jumping Team, who will hurt themselves for you by leaping on their instruments.
Boy, that's really big.
Well, I thought you'd...
No, it's quite all right. I really just want to thank you all for your just fine ideas. But right now, I've come up with an idea of my own.
What's that?
I thought to give this show a real big lift this week if I stayed home. Stayed home.
Do the show without you, Ed?
Right, I thought we'd get one of these impersonator fellows, a mimic, to come in and do an impersonation of me.
That's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard of. No one can imitate you.
He's right, Ed. You're really very unique. You're one of a kind. Thanks, brother.
Well, I want to thank you all for your really fine loyalty. And I happen to agree with you. But this youngster, this young, fine young fella, does the most fantastic impression of me, and I'm going to show you right now. Kathy Keel, would you send that young man out char on our show right over here?
Why, I will, and I really will. I'll bring him right out here, right now on this stage, and show him right now. And here he is to do his impression of Ed Sullivan.
Ed Sullivan is real.
Good evening and welcome to our really big show. Tonight, right here on our stage, the bouncing Bartoks will bounce for you, and a group of baton twirlers from the Sheet Metal Trades High School will...
Why, that's the worst impression I ever heard. Somebody get a rope.
What happened to you? You were so good at the audition.
What do you want? I'm new at the business.
Now we're going to do a really good job trying to imitate a radio show, Chabdog.
No, I think we're going to go to something else more unique, like Paul Lynn.
Yeah.
You ever see Paul Lynn, Abe?
Remember the Hollywood Squares?
I don't know if he was in Laughing. He was in on the Hollywood Squares.
Way back. Hollywood Squares.
Dean Martin variety shows, and
Bewitched.
he had his own. He had his own.
Bewitched.
Oh, he did? What was his character in Bewitched?
Anyone?
Like a warlock or something?
Bueller? Yeah, he was a
male witch.
Male witch,
yeah.
whatever they call it.
I think I remember that, yeah.
He
vaguely.
and give wisecracking. So I like the guy. I was a kid watching him when I saw him on TV, and it just sort of flew over my head.
Mhm.
Other than he caught my attention because he was different. He phrased it. Well, you'll see it for yourself.
He had that way of speaking. It's very unique delivery.
Sex is not for housewives.
Oh my God! I remember
I've
that.
noticed that lately.
Well, I've had a lot on my mind. Mostly worrying about Barbara and Howie up there with that fertility sample. Did my salary review come in?
Oh, here it is, dear.
Thanks, dear. Who did my crossword puzzle?
Howie, he did it in 7 minutes.
And he does it in ink.
Dear, why don't you just come out and say it? You don't like Howie.
He's come out of the closet.
I
and
don't
say it.
like Howie.
He's in a dirty movie theater now as part of his legal work.
Is this Gary Marshall? Is this Gary Marshall?
He's looking at everything.
There you go. So it says triple X-rated adult.
For what?
For everything.
She's selling her tickets.
What time does the movie start?
Does it really matter?
You may not believe this, but not too long ago, I saw Snow White here.
The theater changed.
What a coincidence. Just next week we're showing Snow White makes out with the 7 cycle freaks.
Shame on you. To think you're probably someone's grandmother.
You need to voice the cartoon characters too.
I love the Edgar Winter music in the background. You know? Perfect.
Braves, City Theater. Let the porno music play there.
Sounds like the Doors.
More on this.
with the piano in the background. It's just good music. I can't believe what he's watching.
Oh my goodness.
Gets better, Diane. Let go.
Look his face, man. It's great. Great
No
radio.
wonder they get 750.
There we go.
What do you mean, shh? Nobody's saying anything up there.
He's taking notes. Guy sits down next
Have
to
I
him.
missed anything good? I don't know. I just got here myself. You!
They recognize each other.
Joe Robinson. Shame on you. What are you doing here?
Oh, what are you doing?
Same as you. Only I'm not taking notes. I'm here on business. What about you? I'm here on my lunch hour. I've seen enough.
This brings up an interesting question after we get done watching
I
this.
guess this was the original surfing porn. On your lunch hour.
You know,
I mean, if word
Never
didn't
dawned
get
on me
around
before.
town
what did
since when I
people
was
do
here.
back in 70s and 60s
By
when they
way,
didn't have
I
the
was
internet?
thinking about
They went
your
to porn
son-in-law
They went to
just
stuff
morning.
like this.
Yeah.
Why don't you have him drop in my office? Maybe I
It's
can
just, it
find
blows
an
my
opening
mind
for
about
him.
some of the things that this just died.
I said, maybe
Well, yeah.
I have a
It
job.
sort
One
of
of these
faded away,
industries
and then when the internet came along, it just completely disappeared. What the other
Yeah.
Horror Picture Show.
So that's a sample of his genius, Abe. Paul
Well,
Lynn.
here's the ad for the series.
Oh.
if it'll
Well,
load
you
here.
know, that's what I love about this show is you guys are educating me on some of the
The
you know,
good
some of these
stuff
great
that you
guys.
missed.
And you know what? I looked him up, and was he the host of the dating show?
Yeah, he did that for a while too.
He did the dating game?
Real today.
Did he do the dating game?
Talking to real.
The dating game.
Yeah. Oh, he was good in the dating game, too, yeah.
Because it just seems like, you know, he has that very iconic 70s
Yeah.
look. You know, I think there are times when, you know, I mean, when you say the name, it doesn't come to me, but when I look him up and I've seen, you know, older clips of the dating game show and so iconic, and then I go, oh, yeah, he's...
Oh well, he wasn't the
like
host of the
Mr.
dating
70s.
game. Sorry, that's
He looks
another
like the
Paul.
70s.
That's another
He-
Paul
he
Lynn.
is the 70s.
What?
I think that's Paul Lynn.
No.
This guy's name is Lynde.
Yeah. Was there really a... Yeah, I just remember him doing the
This guy's a little different. From
Hollywood Squares
He did
repeatedly.
Hollywood Squares was his game show.
And then he had the
He did Bewitched.
sitcom, and then he had a few
the sitcom
other
didn't
gigs.
last half a year. Then he did a few
He
other
did
gigs.
Dean Martin variety shows, I think.
And he did
Yeah.
cartoons. He was like...
Oh, was he the voice in one of the cartoons?
Yeah, just one of the characters that, you know, as we learned later, was gay.
What do you mean? It's a cartoon.
I know exactly. And Bert and Ernie are puppets too.
He was in Peppy?
Yeah, he's modern day Pepe.
So do you want to play the other promo?
Well, yeah, here's the promo. I finally got it working here.
This September, 2 new comedies come to ABC.
Look at the briefcase come open well up
Hello,
there.
dear. How goes the rat race?
The rats are winning. What is it?
It's the Aztec goddess of fertility.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Don't touch it.
From the joys of family living with poor Lynn to the tidy, regulated hospital routine of temperatures rising.
Cleavon Little.
Excuse me, ma'am.
White girl.
Pardon me while I whip this out.
Yeah.
I think I love you.
That's sexual harassment.
Turned her on.
Who is
Dude,
that?
that's
Brand new.
Oh, was that Elizabeth Montgomery?
look like her.
I'm already spoken for. James
Yes.
Whitmore, Cleavon Little. Temperatures rising.
Wow.
That was a
Temperatures
good
rising,
call.
All right, the black man, the white. Oh my goodness.
That got my
Stereotypes in this
temperature
thing in
rising seeing
1972
Elizabeth Montgomery.
pouring out of my ears. Oh my god.
I liked her.
Jeez. Let's put that back in the vault. Well, while we're on it here, we got one more here from the early 70s. This is a TV show called Love American Style.
Oh.
And the theme, yeah, if you remember anything,
You're
you might remember
severely
this.
undereducated if you don't know about
Well,
this.
or just you're born too late. But
Best theme of all time. Rick Carrot. Who's he?
Harold
Gould.
yeah.
Yes, the Sting.
Ronnie Howard.
Opie. Oh, this is the Happy Days. I don't know her. Marion Ross was in it too. Mrs. C. Anson
Roxy.
Williams. How about Danny Most?
I think he made the first go around, but
That's me and you.
hold on, here comes yeah, Love and the Happy Days.
Oh, what a good episode.
Carl
that was.
Kleinschmidt produced it. Yeah, written by Gary Marshall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had his
Directed by Gary
fingerprints all over
Nelson,
this.
the folks that got the contract to do Happy Days. So,
He was a skilled.
so it was Love American Style and the
TV
origin
guy.
of Ronnie Howard, as he was known then.
Yeah.
Moved on to do Happy Days. Yeah, he was Opie too. Opie Taylor on way back in Mayberry. And he also did he broke into film doing two
Talk
really good
about
car
successful.
movies. Remember the movie Grand Theft Auto?
No.
Okay, he directed that.
I
movie.
didn't
It was a
see
fun
that.
movie. He also he directed and starred in it. And then that was precursor to another film. He did a stock car film where he was some southern kid, with a bunch of. I'll have to look that one up. But it's another fun Ron Howard film. First one he directed as a complete amateur. Oh, and now someone in my wife in the control room's likening him to Rob Reiner. Yeah, they both came from nowhere. Look what they've done. Chabdog?
I
Any
think
comment?
there are a lot of people like that. This is called America, where you have the ability to make of it what you can.
That's right.
And look at Tank. Look what he's done. And this was the song that he pirated last week when he was singing Dom, 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 Dom.
Yeah, after Dom.
Wow, 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 wow.
Dominique.
Dom be dooby dom 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 be dooby dom 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 meet me in the tunnel. Dom 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 dom.
The 5-position play.
Come and go with me in the tunnel.
With the Queen's Run.
Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum.
Yes, I need you. Yes, I really need you. Please say you never leave me. Please say you never. Yes, you really never.
Okay, well, there was Tank's song from. That's where he copied his Dom from. Dom, 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 Dom. Mm-hmm. Back to the show.
Okay, we're back. So that was my little cultural indoctrination for you for today, Abe.
Oh.
Is Abe gone?
I think we bored the heck out of Abe. We lost him.
Oh, no.
Oh, well, so much for helping a cultural indoctrination. Oh, well.
No, he enjoyed that. I know he enjoyed it. Do you think he got pissed off because we played that song?
Oh, no, not at all.
That was the perfect segue into the from last week's with Tank.
Yeah. But it was. Anyway, I do have a couple other things I got to bring up before
Yeah,
the show
we're not
ends
quite
here.
done yet. We got 5 minutes left, so shoot.
How about Bill and Melinda Gates? What do you know about them?
Yeah, there's trouble in paradise. So
you do read the news.
I guess they're getting the divorce. Oh, what's that? Hello?
There we are.
You're back on Chabdog Sports Talk. Is this Abe?
It's Abe.
Oh, we lost you, Abe. Did you enjoy the Come Go With Me segue?
Yeah, of course. I mean, those are some cute songs.
Yeah, that's a great. I'm telling you, that's it fits in great with Dom. So it makes a lot of sense that Tank did that.
Yes, it does. You know, it's an amazing how he just comes up with this stuff.
Mhm.
I mean, he just out of the blue, and he does, and he's been doing that like his entire life. And you know, it's for me, it's always been difficult because it was like he's always been magical like that, and we knew that before he ever became a Barstool big figure. But it was like, you know, one of the frustrating things was like no one's here to capture it, you know, like nobody's here to witness it, and nobody's here to appreciate it. And that was kind of one of my biggest frustrations growing up with Tank, was that, look, you are just this beautiful, majestic being who just is so creative and have so much sports knowledge, and yet no one's here to really capture it. And I started filming Frank just because I thought he was amazing way back then, and that's why on Twitter I have some old videos of Frank. I've got old photographs of Frank. And a lot of it because he was just like, hey, somebody's got to capture it. And,
See, that's the true passion
Yeah, you're a real you're a real francophile.
Hey Frank, you are the best, my man.
You're a francophile.
Yes, I've been a francophile for a long time.
Yeah, we all are. Yeah.
How can you say so much and say nothing at all?
Well, it's been a fun show. We didn't get to talk much about basketball or hockey.
Thank goodness.
And
hockey's okay.
Let's wait until the playoffs. I mean, unless there's something burning you want to talk about.
We're talking here.
I just can't get too excited about the Lakers. They don't even bother playing LeBron, and maybe he can't play, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be playing pretty soon.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Yeah, go home, LeBron. Come on back. Let's see what you can do.
Well, one of the things I am doing for hockey is they do have a NFL playoff challenge on, I believe it's over here. It's one of the NFL thing. Oh, I'm sorry, not NFL, but for hockey. They have a playoff challenge for hockey, and I'm in one of the, maybe we should start a Chabdog group on there, and then you can do your pick. So maybe that's what I'll do.
I'll
is
do
I'll
that. I
create
mean, I'm going to do. It's a tough year
playoff
because
pick 'em
there's-
game, and I'll create a Chabdog
Yeah.
group, and then I'll share the link on Facebook.
please do it. I got to tell you, watch out for the Penguins. They won their division. They won one of those corporate divisions, and that was. They probably had to beat a few good teams.
Because they are incompetent.
Capitals and the Leafs. No, maybe it wasn't the Leafs, but it was. They won their division, so Boston. But nobody's on the edge of their seat about hockey right now either.
Well, you know, I'm looking forward to on the West Division here. I'm looking forward to the Golden Knights and the Wild. I think they're gonna.
There are a lot of good teams.
Interesting playoff.
There's just a lot of teams that are pretty strong, so it's going to be tough, even in the first round for some of these.
The fucking shooters don't even know.
There's a lot. There's definitely a plethora of talent, and it's going to be competitive.
Oh, and that's going to make for some amazing playoff hockey because you've got a lot of good teams and you've got a lot of strong players, and they're all going to come after each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's going to be a great hockey playoffs. It's going to be a
Old-time hockey.
I thought I sent you a hockey clip, but I guess I didn't.
You did send me the Canucks clip where they're getting beaten by Boston. But
But
6 minutes of
6 minutes
pain for Vancouver.
of joy for a Boston
Humiliated.
Bruins fan like me.
Oh yeah. Well,
that was in
Boston's
2000.
got
That was
lost,
10 years ago. They won it.
2011.
And since then, they've laid an egg when they get to the finals.
Hey, at least they got a cup. You know, Vancouver's still looking for their first.
Are you a Vancouver fan?
No, I'm a Buffalo Sabres fan. We're looking for our first.
Oh, that's a rough road to hoe.
If the Mets win the World Series, I'm
Buffalo
telling you,
Sabres.
this city's going to go crazy.
They sure are.
They're a bad team this year too. I think.
They're horrible.
It just never ends with the Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah.
Talk about falling knives. Well, it's already 11 o'clock. We've come to the end of the show, so I think we're going to have to go out with a bang here. What's going to be the parting song?
Well, we've got to do our final thoughts here first.
I've done more for the Mets.
My final
than Bobby
thoughts
Bonilla
are
done the last 16 years.
It's going to be a really big week coming up, so get ready and get some serious sleep for tomorrow. But enjoy listening to this show.
Yeah.
When you get a chance.
Happy Mother's Day to all of our listeners' mothers out there and the mothers themselves listening.
Mm-hmm. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to my mother and to my wife and to all the women you care about that have children.
And Abe, final thoughts?
Yes. Let's get ready to motor. Let's get ready for that NASCAR race. So for all of you guys out there, I'm getting excited. Let me tell you, hot diggity dogs. My hot dog's getting big.
It's going to be a disaster in Darlington.
NASCAR racing today.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right. Well,
Fats Domino.
You made
let's go out with "Ain't That a Shame." You could also
1955.
Could you follow it up with the Wayne Newton Doctor Shame? That's appropriate. 5 minutes
Shame to
of
a shame.
Thank you, Ida Cohen, for listening to this. A live listen. Thank you, Eric the Wellread, for great production work as usual. And thank you, Abe Miranda, for some racing car information that we really have to take stock of.
The listeners.
And you better take stock of our buy, sell, or hold recommendations.
The Russians. Don't forget to mention the Russians.
Happy Mother's Day in Russia and China.
Thank you to all the listeners. Especially those in India.
Yes. All those people in India that listen to this show.
So shout out
It's
to
now
Hi-
25% of our listening audience.
Mumbai rocks.
What's going on with that? I must have some friends in very Indian places. You didn't play the clip about the guy that gets upset about being confused as told he's half Indian.
I'll throw him in next.
Oh, we didn't include that. All right, we're going to go. Thanks.
You made me cry when you said goodbye. Ain't that a shame? My tears feel like rain. Ain't that a shame? You're the one to blame. Oh well, goodbye. Although I'll cry, ain't that a shame? My tears feel like rain. Ain't that a shame? You're the one to blame.
Having a great time in New Orleans. It has been very fun. It's nice I live in New York, and it's good to be away from there. I'm in a good mood. I was having a rough week in New York. People are mean to me in New York. I live in Brooklyn, and I just get heckled on the street all day. I was walking down the street the other day, and a guy called me a Big Bang Theory-looking motherfucker, so it's good to be away from there. He didn't even name a guy from the show. Isn't that messed up? He was like, "You're the whole thing. Can I have a picture?" We took a picture. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? I get shit all day on the street in Brooklyn, partially because I'm ethnically ambiguous and people are always trying to figure out where I'm coming from, you know? Like I was sitting in the park the other day trying to meditate. Yeah, meditators, I call it liberal prayer. And this guy saw me and he goes, "Go back to Guatemala." He said Guatemala. That is so specific, man. That's like a racist Hail Mary to throw, you know? He's like, if that lands, that dude's going back to Guatemala tonight. It's over for that dude. I'm going to win my pool. I'm not from the beautiful land of Guatemala. I'm half Indian, in case you're trying to guess. Yeah, a little half Indian boy. Hell yeah, weird thing to woo at. I am half Indian. Sometimes when I tell people that, they'll say this fun thing where they're like, "Oh, half Indian, huh? Feather or dot?" Yeah, you ever heard that before? Some of you have said it. I can feel it. I know where we are. Feather dot. What a fun, flirty way to marginalize two cultures, you know, with two words. What racist efficiency, right? Like, I want to be racist, but quick. I got shit to do today. I ain't got all goddamn day to be putting your little ass down, all right? Pop quiz, hot shot, feather or not. Keep it moving. Like, oh, okay. I'm on your time, I guess. Feather or dot. I'm going to start doing that to white people. Yeah. Next time I meet a white person, I'm going to be like, "Oh, white, huh? Potato or Nazi?" That's how they like it. Yeah. See if they enjoy it. Yeah. 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 I am a dot, by the way. I know it's bothering some of you. That's fine. Dot? I know the shirt had you fooled. This shirt says feather all over it, baby. Dot is fine, you know. As far as slurs go, nobody cares about dot, you know. Dot's not even really a slur, you know, because you have to say something angrily for it to be a slur, right? Right? And nobody's ever said dot angrily. Nobody's ever like, "Hide your curry. Some fucking dots just walked in. Looks like a goddamn game of Pac-Man in here. All these dots floating around. Is that an ellipses that just walked in my bar? 3 dots in a row, huh? You got some nerve." Yeah, I'll do ellipses humor. I'm not afraid. I'm brave. You might notice I don't have like an Indian accent at all. Because my Indian father left before I ever heard his voice, so this is what I sound like. It's a bummer, so I can't do like a fun racist impression of him that I'm sure we'd all enjoy, you know? I mean, I'll try one. I don't want to bum you guys out. My dad would be like, I do not want to be a father. Is that good? I don't know what he sounds like. Thank you, come again. Not to my house. Yeah. I've had 4 different Indian people come to me after shows and be like, hey man, your dad probably left because there's a lot of pressure in Indian culture to not have like mixed race children. It's like a weird thing from the older generations, but he was probably just like ashamed or something. And I'm just like, oh, cool, thanks. Thanks for the good news. I feel much better. A lot of healing done tonight. My dad actually died a few years ago because my vision board worked, and he was dead to me already. But I was playing with a Ouija board recently. Yeah, I was getting all spooky and kooky with a Ouija board, and my friend was like, "Let's get a little spookier, you know, a little kookier." So we tried to contact my father with the Ouija board, yeah, and nothing happened. And my friend was like, oh, it's not working. And I was like, no, this is so my dad.
Dark as shame, darling, dark as shame. Thank you for all the joy and pain. Picture show, second balcony was the place we'd meet. Second seat, go Dutch treat, you were sweet. Dark as shame, darling, dark as shame. Save those lies, darling, don't explain. I recall Central Park in fall, how you tore your dress, what a mess. I confess, that's not all. Dark as shame, darling, dark as shame. Thank you for walks down Lover's Lane. I can see hearts carved on a tree. Let us intertwine for all time, yours and mine. That was fine. Dark as shame, darling, dark as shame. Thank you for seeing me again. Though we go our separate ways, still the memory stays for always. My heart says dark as shame, dark as shame, oh darling, and dark as shame. I said thank you for seeing me again. Though we go our separate ways, still the memory stays for always. My heart says dark as shame, dark as shame. I'll be the same, dark as shame.